Welcome back to the Post Birdie podcast. As always, with me, Bill Persecki, tour director here in Chicago. Thanks for joining me.
Nice to be here once again.
Talking about recap of Makray. What'd you think of the course this week?
Thought it was a good course. Thought it was in good shape. A lot of I've always heard a lot of people say how challenging the course is. I never actually played it until Sunday. I had meant to get out there earlier in the year and just kind of scouted, get a practice round out there, but that didn't happen. So I came into it playing it for the first time, and I'd always heard that the greens were like lightning fast. I didn't think they were lightning fast, but they were definitely fast enough and sloped enough that if you were on the wrong side of the hole, then you had some problems. I had quite a few putts that were, big side winding putts, like maybe 12 feet, and you had to play it 3 feet outside the hole, which is just a difficult putt to stand over the ball and have confidence in, right? That you're hitting the right line. So the greens were tough, I know, but all in all, I thought the course was in great shape. They were great hosts to us. They were super easy to work with from my side, setting up the tournament and everything. And it sounds like everybody had a good time. So successful tournament.
Yeah, I thought the course is in fantastic condition. As far as the greens go, I'm not sure they could get them much faster and actually have them playable because there was that much slope on them. There was
Yeah.
definitely putts I had on hole number 3, I believe it was, where he hit iron off the tee and then play into the green. I was on the wrong side of
Mhm.
the hole, and there was 0 chance I had to stop the ball anywhere near the hole. So there was a couple of holes like that. So if they got those greens any faster than that, you're putting up the hill and it would come back to you.
Right. Yeah. And that hole in particular, three, I was that was where I the first hole where I learned about how sloped those greens were, because that pin was it's a narrow green anyway, but that pin was a little on the left, and I hit one on the right side of the green, like just short of the right bunker. So it was on the green, and I was putting uphill, and I didn't think it was a fairly difficult putt. So I saw a line and hit, a line. I had to play quite a bit of break, like right to left break, and I pulled it just a little bit. And as soon as I hit the putt, I knew I was going to miss it on the low side, but I didn't think anything of it. And all of a sudden, it took that slope and went down, and I had like 8 feet coming back for par, and I only had like a 20-footer to begin with. And it was like, all right, I understand now that you got to be below the hole on this course. And some of those greens, you were even better off being off, like on the front fringe for some of those pins, especially some of those holes where the pin was in the front. You were almost in better shape, literally being off the green and just putting from the front fringe than you were trying to be on the green, because then you'd have either a downhill or a side hill putt. And so you're right. They, I think we've probably played faster greens, but those slopes got pretty tricky, and they're hard to see too. It's hard to see that there's that much slope when you're standing on the green. You kind of have to trust it. So I think it provided a pretty good test for most people. We had some people throw up some pretty low scores. A few people threw up some low scores for their flight, but for I'd say 80 to 90% of the field, it was a tough test.
Yeah, starting with Luke and Champ Flight, even par. Said he had 4 birdies on the backside and only something like 26 putts all day.
Yeah, I mean, even par is that's a great score on any golf course, and to shoot even par on that golf course is quite impressive. And it was me and Luke and Joe McKnighter who were kind of all hanging around each other for the front nine, even into like 11th or 12th hole. And then Luke just went on a tear. I think he birdied like 3 out of 4 holes somewhere along the way on the back. And so he just pulled away.
And then in A flight, finally got to play with Matt, and he crushed it all day, shooting 37, 37.
Yeah. Yeah, another solid round. I mean, a good enough round that, he shot 74, and 74 would have been good enough to tie for second in the champ flight. So to shoot that score in the A flight is quite the round. And he's been playing some pretty good golf for a while. He threw up that even par front nine at Fire Lake. I played around with him in the week in between Fire Lake and Makray, and he was striping it every hole. And so he's got his game in a good place, and you could tell Sunday he just ran away with it, winning by 6 shots. And that score of 74 with the slope and rating we had, that it comes out to a handicap differential of 1, which is a great score in and of itself, and especially for A flight. So kudos to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving down to B flight, had a playoff. Both of them shooting 82, and Lewis in the playoff making par on the first hole.
And the playoff, so Luis Allen, Paul Chaplin, those are your top two guys in the points race as well. And so a lot on the line in the playoff for those two guys to go head to head. And Lewis played another, it seems like the story of the day, that the people who are winning played fantastic rounds. He started his round triple, double, triple, and then wound up shooting 82. And so he was, what does that come to? Triple, double, triple, 8 over par. And so he only shot 11 over par 71 for 82. So he played the last 15 holes, really the last 16 holes, if you count the playoff hole, in 3 over par. So great stuff, great playing from him.
Yeah, that's golfing your ball. 3 over par for 15 holes.
Yeah,
Adrian in C flight shooting 84, winning by 1, making birdie on the last, I think he said.
he did. He birdied the last hole, and Drew was in the clubhouse because Drew, I think, was in one of the very first C groups to go off. And so he was in the clubhouse with 85 and waiting around for a while to see if he was going to have to go back out for a playoff. And I think he did think that he was going to. And then Adrian made the putt on 18 and took it. So first win for him. He's a new member for us this year, and good on him getting the job done.
And then in D flight, Tyrone shooting 87 to win D flight by 1.
Yeah, some good scores in D flight. I mean, top three scores 87, 88, 89. I think, normally we say that if you're anywhere in the low 90s, between 90 and 95, generally you're going to be in a good spot to win the D flight. And well, if you shot 90 on Sunday, you'd have finished in fourth. So some good scores from Tyrone, Pat Kelly, and Mike Taylor going 87, 88, 89. Tyrone and Pat Kelly actually both shot 40 on the back nine, which is a great score. That's a 40 on the back nine on that course, is a pretty good score anyways. It's a tough course, so it's a really good score, back nine score for D flight. But Tyrone getting it done. First win of the year for him. And he picks up some ground in points too.
Just for comparison, I shot 39 on the back nine, and I finished second in A flight. Those guys are shooting 40 in the back nine to win D flight. I mean,
Right.
that is playing on that back nine.
Yeah, yeah, and I know they're playing different tees and all that, but still, I mean, you still gotta, hit the green and make the putts and all that, right? So yeah, 40 is a pretty solid back nine score on that course.
And looking at the points race, Luke Baum has basically wrapped it up with his win. He was doing some math, and he said something to the effect that if he finishes no worse than 10th place the rest of the year in all the events, even if Matt Payne wins every event, he still wins.
He's still gonna win.
So,
Okay, of course, Luke would do that math
of
because
course, he
Matt
would do
Payne is
that
gonna
math.
miss.
Uh,
Yeah, of course,
but we
and
don't
Pat's gonna
have
miss Arrowhead
10
too.
guys.
Say again.
Right, he's missing Arrowhead. He had that figured in, and we only have 9 guys at Arrowhead, so Luke automatically makes top 10.
Right. Yeah. And I guess that math is right. I was just thinking that like after Arrowhead, we've got Blackstone, Springbrook, Heritage Oaks, and then the final. So I'm gonna do some quick math in my head here. That's 3 single days. That's 450 for each, and then the tour
2250.
championship is 900. So that's 900, 900. That's 1,350 points if I'm doing that right.
2250.
So say again.
2250.
Oh yeah, 2,250. Yeah. Well, so Matt Payne's got 2,500 points right now. So even if he were to win, if he wins every event, that would give him 4,750, and Luke's got 3,870. And so Luke's got to get basically call it 1,000 points, maybe 900 and something points across all those events plus Arrowhead. So yeah, like 180 points per event, something like that. So really, if he gets into like the top three in any of them, which he might, because typically as the season goes on, champ flight gets smaller and smaller, so you just kind of get it by default. So yeah, I probably didn't do that math as in as much detail as Luke, I'm sure did. Um, yeah, he's pretty much got it wrapped up.
Yeah, Luke's in first. Matt Payne remains in second. You're closing in on second. You're only 35 behind him.
Yeah,
Jake
so
Gary's
I'll
still
take
holding.
second after Sunday because Matt won't be there, but then Matt will come back, I'm sure, and then I'll have my work cut out for me to get to second for whatever that's worth. But yeah, Luke, unless 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 something drastic happens, he's gonna get another tattoo. I'm thinking.
Well, he might have it in like another week or so. You never know. I don't know if he has
True.
it scheduled yet. Jake Gary's in third, and Larry Amick playing really well as of late. The last 2 events moved up into 5th place.
Yeah, Larry's motivated to go to Hilton Head because he was talking to me about it a few weeks ago. And I was telling him that what the qualification is for this year, which I don't even think we've announced yet, at least to our tour, but where they're starting for this year is top 10 in your flight gets the first wave of invites. And so he was worried about finishing top 10 because he had missed a few events. So he was down in eighth or ninth or so. But now he's, as we always say, you just got to play the events to get the points. And so he's been playing more. He won't be there this Sunday, but he should comfortably get in the top 10 for his Hilton Head trip because I know he wants to go.
On top of that, he's been playing really well also. He was in the lead at the turn at TPC Deer Run
Right.
before the eventual winner shot 34 on the back 9 and overtook him again. And then he
Right.
was also up near the lead on the front 9 before Luke had 4 birdies on the back 9 to overtake him. So he's been playing really well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Moving down to A flight, Matt Ficoli, twice now he's brought candy for my daughter for me to take to my daughter. First at Silver Lake and now here. And both times he's played excellent rounds after that. So Matt, you better bring me some candy if you want to hold the points lead. Because if you stop bringing
Maybe that's the
candy,
ticket.
you're
He's
going to
got to
start
bring the
sucking
candy.
again.
That
Uh,
that uh, that
so
I did
he's
not know,
extended
but I guess that's the ticket for him. Yeah.
He's extended his lead in A flight. I'm still in second place. Kale, who hasn't played much, but he's won twice, is in third. Justin is in fourth, and James Park is in fifth. Rich is moving up to sixth place, and he's been playing pretty decent as of late also. Moving down
Still
to
looking
B
like
flight.
it's the three of you. Still looking like it's you, Matt, and Kale. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Matt. I know you're planning on playing all the rest of the events. I'm pretty sure Matt is as well. He's not playing another regional though, so you'll pick up some ground on him there. But you got to watch out for Kale. I mean, Kale, he's playing Sunday. I don't know if he's planning on playing every event, but he's he's definitely in the lead in points per event in the A flight because it seems like
For
every
sure.
tournament he's played, he's been there. So, he could be if he plays most of the events, he could be the dark horse, but definitely just down to you three, at least from what I can see.
The big issue with Kale is he's got a 2-year-old at home and he can't make all the events. So with a young family, he's not making it to every event, but he doesn't really practice either. So the fact that he's shooting 43-33 is just a testament to what he actually could be if he played as much golf and practiced as much as I do. I have to practice that much just to be kind of almost in the hunt sometimes, where he could just show up and get a couple of swings in, find his groove, and go out and shoot 33 on the backside of a PGA Tour course.
Right. Yeah. So I didn't know that. I've never played with him. So he's the Jake Gary of the A flight then, because Jake is the same way in champ. Jake had a bad day Sunday, but like 9 times out of 10, he just rolls out of bed and shoots 74. So Kale is his counterpart in the A flight that apparently can do the same thing, which I'm like you. I'm very jealous of that. If I go a week, even maybe even less than sometimes without touching a club, I have no idea what I'm doing. So to come out and play like that in a tournament too is impressive.
If I go a week without touching a club, I'll be lucky to break 95.
Yeah, yeah, and so I envy that skill set. So I wonder if he's been able to practice at all this week. We'll see because he is playing Sunday. So all three of you are playing. So actually, I think I don't know if James Park is playing. Hold on, let me look at the. Now Park is not playing, but at least your top four, you three and Justin, all playing Sunday. So A flight points race is on.
Now, moving down to B flight, Luis with his win is in first. Paul is in second. Michael has been playing well for a while, and he's still hanging in there in third. Vincent, with an earlier win, is in fourth, and Bob Curran has moved up to fifth place.
Yeah, Luis pulls away a little bit for the lead with the playoff win on Sunday, but everybody is playing. This is you really got a race here in B flight too. Everyone, all the top six are so counting Wally Bromberg too in sixth place. Top six are all playing on Sunday, and so obviously Luis is leader in the clubhouse. Paul Chaplin's got to watch out though because his handicap is down to 9 on the dot. So if he shoots a good round and he drops to 8.9, he's going to get that bump into A flight, which I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy about because he's trying to chase down the B flight points lead. But so he's got to be careful about that. But regardless, it's a pretty good race in B.
I think the rule is if you get bumped up, you get moved into a tie for fifth place. Is that not right?
You get you get a prorated amount of points. I believe I should know this off the top of my head, but I don't. I believe it's 75% of your points you keep. So you don't keep your full allotment. I believe you keep 75%. If that 75% of your points would put you into the top 4 or higher, then you get prorated down even further into a tie for fifth. So whatever fifth place is, you would just tie for that person. So you can't be higher than fifth. And so if that were to happen, like let's say Paul was 8.9 right now, he would be then tied with James Park in A and 1,400 points behind Matt, whereas now he's only 250 points behind Luis. So that's something to watch out for there in the B flight. We'll see.
Now, moving down to
Yep.
C flight, Anthony moved up into first place. Drew played really
He
well
did.
this weekend, or this last weekend, moved into second place. Stan is down into third. Chris Bilba is 4th, and Ed Mallett moves back into the top 5.
Another tight race here. I mean, even go down further than that, like Tom Mesher, only two, literally 2 points behind Ed in sixth place. Andy Quinton, 2 points, 45 points behind him in seventh. Adrian, who just won, is only eyeballing the math here, about 150, 160 points behind him. So you've got, for as much separation as you've got, what do we just say in the A flight? You've got about 1,400 points between number one and number five. In the C flight, you've got 1,400 points between number one and number like 11. So tight race, and everybody's playing good golf. Anthony's been playing good golf. I know he's not happy about losing 2 playoffs, but he got into 2 playoffs. You got to play well just to get into the playoff. Drew was leader in the clubhouse on Sunday until Adrian dropped a birdie on him. Stan Mitchell's got a couple wins on the year. Chris Bill was always there. He won the points race last year in C. And then Ed Mallett, too. Ed Mallett's been playing pretty good golf ever since the end of last year. He won the tournament at Mistwood and still playing pretty solid all year. Tom Mesher's got a win this year. Andy Quinton's got a win this year. So you got a pretty strong race in C here. It should be an interesting this one, and I think you got a true points race. It's not like Champ where Luke is just kind of running away with it. Like we have a true points race in the C flight. It should be fun coming down the stretch.
Anthony's been playing so well, everything but winning, so he's just knocking on the door. Moving down to D flight, Patrick Kelly still in the lead. Last year's points race winner. Michael Taylor 2nd. Tyrone with his win is up to 3rd. Brad is in 4th, and Josip moves back into the top 5. He's 5th place.
Yeah, another good race here as well. I mean, Pat Kelly's had the lead now for the last several weeks, playing some really good golf. Again, finishing second on Sunday, so that gets him 275 points to maintain the lead. But it's less than 300 points right now. So, that's the difference between a win and fifth place. So anything can happen. I mean, you got about 700 points between first and fifth, and most of these guys play every tournament. Obviously, Brad plays every tournament, but they all do. Pat, Michael, Tyrone, Josip, they all play. It's rare if one of them doesn't play a tournament. So pretty good race here in D as well.
Well, just taking a look at who's coming this week and previewing the Arrowhead tournament. Out of the champ flight, Luke is going to be there. Jake is coming back. You're going to be there. Out of the top 5, three of the top 5 in champ flight. Moving down to A flight, as you were saying, Kale's going to be there. I'll be there. Matt will be there. Justin will be there. James Park is on the wait list. I don't know if he's making it or not.
I don't think he can make it. So that waiting list, or really, that's just the you registered but you haven't paid list, and I haven't heard from him. So I sent out a message to everybody to say, you got to pay because tournament's on Sunday, and I didn't hear from him. So I don't think, unless he pays me sometime between right now. So we're filming this on Wednesday night. So unless he pays me sometime between right now and when I wake up in the morning and close the field down, then he won't be there. But you'll still have your top 4 in A playing on Sunday,
And
and only 7 people in the A flight anyways. So a lot of points to be had.
yeah, moving down to B flight, you got Lewis will be there. Paul, Bob, Wally, Vincent. A lot of people in the top end of the B flight will be there. It looks like, and it looks like it
All of the
as normal.
top 6, I believe. Yes, all of the top
eh,
6 are
As
playing
as
in B
nor
flight are playing.
as normal, B flight's going to be the biggest flight. There's 15 people coming.
Mm-hmm.
Moving down to C flight, Anthony. I mean, he's there just about every event for us as a starter. He's there. Chris Bilba's there. Gary will be there. Tom will be there. Stan will be there. Drew will be there. Andy will be there. Looks like that's going to be a pretty contested match also.
Yeah, out of the top 10, actually, scanning these names real quick. Out of the top 10, the only guy who is not playing, again, unless he pays me sometime between right now and tomorrow morning, is Ed Mallett. But everybody else in the top 10, actually, the top 12 is playing this weekend. So either people really want to play some golf or they're really looking at that points race, maybe a little bit of both.
It is July. This is golf season.
Yeah.
Looking at D Flight, you've got Ed Monroe coming down from Milwaukee. It's good to see him back and playing. But out of Chicago, Tyrone's playing, Pat Kelly's playing. Who else we got? Obviously, Brad's playing. Michael Taylor's playing.
Michael Taylor, Josip.
Josip is
Yeah.
playing.
So once again, everybody in the top 5. Remus is in 6th. He's not playing, but Jack Tucker's in 7th, and he is. So 6 of your top 7 in points playing on Sunday.
Well, tell us a little bit about the course.
So we were talking about this before we started filming here. I haven't actually played the course since we played it the last time in a Golf Week tournament, which I think was 3 years ago. I do remember it because I've played it twice, both times in Golf Week tournaments. And I remember the course being just kind of right in front of you. Like you stand on the tee, there'll be like a par 4 straight out. You can see the green. But I remember it being a course that can kind of sneak up on you. I remember few greens with quite a bit of slope. Bunkers can be strategically placed. There's one par 5 I remember that's got this massive tree right in the middle of the fairway. And I don't know if it's on one of the 9s we're playing because we're playing west south, and I don't know what 9 this hole is on, but I only remember this hole because I hit a great drive and it hit a branch on this tree and came straight down. And it still went out there, but the tree is like literally in like the landing zone. It's not like 100 yards off the tee. It's like, 260 out there, something like that, like right where you want to hit your drive. So that stands out to me. I don't know which of the 3 nines it's on or what hole it's on, but I do remember that. But it's a good course. It's always in fantastic shape. It's regularly on the list of, best courses in the area. Slope and rating is pretty tough. So it's par 72. And I think for most tees, the rating is 70, 71, something like that. But the slope is high. The slope from just about every tee box is like 135 or something like that. So should be a good tournament for everybody. It's been a couple years since we've been there. So looking forward to having it back on the schedule.
I haven't played it since that tournament either. And what I remember is probably the first 4 or 5 holes, I didn't hit a drive over 150 yards because I was spraying my driver into the trees. It's it's definitely a Parkland type course and tree lined
Mhm.
fairways.
Yeah, I remember it's a classic, like a classic Chicago country club course, straight out, next hole comes straight back the other way, that type of thing. Strategically placed bunkers, evidently strategically placed trees too, but good course and one of our favorites for sure.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you Sunday. Thank you.